Why should I listen to you? Really? I mean, why should I listen to you? Why should I waste my time? Why should I spend my money? Who do you think you are anyway? Now, are people really saying that to you? They may not be saying it to you directly, but it's going on whether they're reading your social media, but it's going on in their heads. It's going on in print. It's going on whether you're face to face with them. Okay? So, and your ascent to building a great business, to being successful, generating income, making sales, you've got to learn to earn respect and trust of people very, very quickly. So I'm going to cover 7 ways to do this. Seven ways to do this that will work in any situation, anytime. So again, thank you so much for being here. And by the way, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to whatever channel you're on YouTube. We're just about to the break point. Tell your friends, subscribe, share, like this video if you do and can. And if you have a specific question about how to use any of these 7 pieces in anything that you're doing, please send us a message, send a comment. I'll do my best to answer it on a future live call. Okay. All right. Number one, how do you do this? And by the way, why is this important? You know that in a sale, if you don't command the respect and trust of people very early, they've already checked out. They're gone. You've got basically 30 seconds to 3 minutes to either make it or break it. And that's one of the most nerve-wracking things for any salesperson or anybody, to know what to say, how to say it, what to do to establish trust. Think about it. You're the most nervous. They're the most skeptical. And we all know that it only takes seconds for them to make a judgment. So that's the perfect storm to fail. But not after this video. So take some notes, write these things all down. Okay, number one, if you're going to command respect and trust instantly, almost immediately, the first step is to go into their world first. What do I mean by that? You ask them questions about them. Don't talk about what you do. Don't try to sell them something. Don't do any of those things. Go into their world first. Show that you're interested. Don't try to be interesting. Be interested. How do you do that? Ask questions. Ask lots of questions. Any sale, whether you're on a sales call, even when you're introducing yourself on a webinar, ask rhetorical questions. Have people respond in the chat box. Show that you're interested in them. Like, how many of you are business owners? How many of you are not business owners? Let me know. I want to know. See, so now what you're doing is you're setting an environment that they can trust you. Now, all these things that Blair doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. It makes sense because it's not so much some of the things that you say, it's the way you say them, how you say them, in the context you say them. Okay, that's number one. Go into their world first. Ask lots of questions. Okay, do that first. Number two, spend a lot of time acknowledging them. What's that mean? That means say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Or I appreciate what you're saying. Good job. Excellent. I can see how that makes sense to you. Say things that acknowledge the other person. Now, don't blow smoke in their face, because they'll know when you're doing that. Be real. Be sincere. Compliment them sincerely. If they tell you a story, if a person's telling you a story about what they do, show that you're interested. Body language. Change your facial expression. Lean forward. Let them know that you're interested. And if you're trying to fake it, it's worse than not doing any of this stuff. So again, if you're going to acknowledge them, acknowledge them from the heart. Tell them, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. Thank you for allowing me the time to share this with you. I'll make sure it's well worth your time and effort. That's an acknowledgement, okay? And you acknowledge throughout your presentation, okay? It should be from the heart, okay? And that's number two. Number three, this is the big one. Are you ready? Drum roll, the big one. The big one is earn the right. You know, when I teach thousands, probably tens of thousands of people around the world how to be great teachers, leaders, presenters, trainers, whether they're in a corporate environment or an entrepreneurial environment. This earn the right in their mind for them to trust you, because that's what they want to know. Okay, you've done all these things. Why should I listen to you? Why should I trust you? So very early on in your introduction to people, whether it's on a webinar, whether it's face-to-face in front of a group of people, You've got to earn the right. And there's two parts of that. Number one is to establish your credibility quickly, early. Okay. So for example, let's say that I'm teaching you how to speak, and I say, just so you know, for the last 15 years, I've taught tens of thousands of people how to be world-class trainers and coaches and put them on some of the biggest stages in the world. Period. One statement, and understate the statement. Why? Because nobody likes ego and nobody likes a bragger. Okay, so don't brag and don't say, I wrote this book, did this, did this, did this. Is one simple statement. And by the way, we have at bsta.tv.com, bsta.tv.com. There it is. Actually, not .com, bsta.tv. We have a free storyboard in PDF file that's fill in the blank, so you can fill out your own presentation, and you'll look like a champion every single time. So you don't have to memorize it. If you just go there, download it. It's absolutely free. You can do that. Okay. All right. So that's number two. Earn your credibility. Don't brag. Ego and no ego. Now, the other part of your earning the right is why you're there. Okay. So if I was selling back in the old days when I was selling high ticket data processing systems to people, I would say, so the credibility of the company would come first. And then I would say, and the reason I'm here is that I really love to support small businesses. I hope to own my own small business someday. And just doing this and learning about your company and learning how these solutions can work for you is helping me. And I hope it's really helping you. So that's a real honest to gosh reason why I'm here. Why is that important? Because it allows people to get to know you. You're a little more vulnerable. You're telling the truth. They get a chance to see a real person. By the way, this is not a performance. This is not a performance. This is you talking from the bottom of your heart and being transparent, basically. Okay, that's number three. Number four, ask for permission. Whenever you're going to talk to somebody, is it okay if I show you our product? Would it be okay with you if we could talk about some of your needs? Is it all right with you if I share with you a little bit about my background? Always preface anything new with asking for permission. Say, Blair, why do you do that? You're going to be a wimp. No, you're not a wimp. It's common courtesy. And by the way, it's not registering in their head that you're actually asking for permission. What's registering in their head that you're courteous, that you're asking, you're there by the grace of them, okay? Which is truly how I hold any kind of a sales call or any kind of a presentation, okay? So always ask for permission. Number five, be honest and vulnerable. Don't make stuff up. Don't try to pretend that you're somebody that you're not. Be 100% honest and 100% vulnerable. Now, again, all of this is in the storyboard builder, and in the way I teach it, you can get through all this kind of stuff in less than 2 minutes if you format it properly. And the storyboard builder shows you how to do that. Okay, number six. I learned this in sales many, many years ago. Number six. Never, ever trash a competitor, trash another person, get political, or anything like that. Don't ever. There may be a time to do that later, but don't do it when you're meeting somebody and you're trying to earn their respect. Okay? Because what does it do? It sends a message that you're a complainer, that there's exterior forces beyond your control. Use language that shows you're responsible. Yeah, I heard about that with my company, and I wish there was something I can do about it. We're working on it. We're working to improve that as best we can. So thank you for the feedback. Okay. Again, back to acknowledgement. Use responsible language. I'm not really into blaming other people or making excuses. I'll own it every single time. And many times I've had to do it because I make a lot of mistakes. I admit it to people. Don't be afraid to admit your fallacies or your weaknesses a little bit to other people, because then they really believe you. Well, what kind of a person would do that? Okay. All right. So that's number six. Number seven. And again, this is a critical one. You may not be able to do this in the first couple of minutes, but one of the things I learned about how to earn trust and respect with other people is to purposely, listen closely, This is a big one. Particularly if you're doing high ticket sales, purposely make agreements with the people or the person you're talking to for the purpose of then keeping the agreement later. Let me say it again. Purposely make an agreement with somebody for the purpose of keeping it later. Watch this. So if you're talking to somebody and building the rapport and going into their world, you found out that they are an avid golfer. They love golf. And maybe Tiger Woods was one of their big heroes back in the day. And you kind of hold that in the back of your mind. And then at some strategic point, you would say, did you have, by the way, were you able to see the article in Sports Illustrated about Tiger Woods' comeback in the recent Masters? And if they say, no, I didn't see it, I said, well, you know what? I can provide, I have a copy of it. I'd be happy to give it to you. And the person would say, no, that's okay. I can find it. Say, no, I'll drop it by tomorrow afternoon, or I'll send it to you, or I'll text it to you, or whatever. I'll get it to you by tomorrow afternoon. You can take a look at it. You can tell me if it's of any value to you, okay? And they'll say, yeah, fine. And then what do? If you said you'll deliver it by 5 tomorrow, it's in there. It's in their inbox by 5 tomorrow, okay? Why? Because you're establishing, again, psychologically, all these things work on a person's mind psychologically to establish trust. Because now what they see by 5 o'clock the next day, that you actually did what you said you're going to do. So you're building a track record that you will keep your agreements. And if you can't, you send them a text saying, sorry, I couldn't find it. I'll get it to you the next day. Let them know. Why? Because it's going to make you totally different than everybody else. It's going to make you totally different than everybody else is just trying to sell. Okay? And to earn the respect and trust of somebody else takes some time, over time. And Warren Buffett said you can spend 30 years building trust and respect in your industry and a reputation, and you can destroy it in about 2 or 3 minutes. And when you understand that, you understand the importance of doing the things that I'm talking about to establish trust. Okay, so those are the 7. Okay, go into their world first, acknowledge them, earn the right, get permission, be honest and transparent. Never trash anybody else, never trash a competitor, and make and keep your agreements. And again, if you have trouble with presentations and you really want to learn how to do this well and make it automatic for yourself, then I'm going to suggest you go to bsta.tv.com. Let me put that up there. Yeah, bsta.tv, not .com, bsta.tv, and there's a free storyboard builder. And what it is there are 4 or 5 ways to present yourself that will automatically go through these 7 steps. It'll automatically put you through these 7 steps. It's absolutely free. There should be no reason why your nervousness prevents you from making a sale, or your nervousness prevents people from seeing who the real you is. Because at the end of the day, that's what people want, okay? So if you've got something out of this, please subscribe to this YouTube channel or to our Facebook groups. Come and share this video with other people. Share it, like it, and help us boost our subscriptions a little bit. But most of all, go to bsta.tv. Get that tool, because it will save your butt in the future. Very simple to fill out, just a PDF, okay? So again, thank you. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, share, like, and go out there and be awesome. Establish the trust and the respect that you deserve. Don't let your little voice and nervousness get in the way. All right? Be awesome.